Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode. I'm really excited. I just finished the live show for the live review for the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady. So if you haven't, or if you wasn't there for the live show, go ahead and watch the replay for like explicit details and personal stories about my personal experience. But in here, we're going to go over the review, but I have a lot to talk about. So we're just going to go over the brief details, but let's get right into it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Please and thank you. Love you, mean it. We're going to start off with the whole start of the cruise and just go day by day. And then I'll talk about some brief things that I really liked and some things that I really think could be changed or altered to make it better. So let's get right into it. I have my notes here because y'all know if I don't have notes, we can get sidetracked and we will be talking all day but not on topic. So starting off, this was a fire and sunset soirees. I still can't say that how it's supposed to be, but fire and sunset soirees. It was the September 6th through September 6th sailing of 2023. It was a solo cruise. This was my first solo cruise for the channel. I have done a solo cruise previous to this, and I like to do solo cruises at least once a year. If you are not a solo cruiser, I think you should try it at least one time in your life just to see how it is. Even if you are an introvert, extrovert, whatever, I feel like you should try a solo cruise just to see if you truly like it or not. But this is my first solo experience on the channel, and I'm here to talk to you about it. So we're going to start with the check-in process and embarkation. Of course, everything is through the Virgin Voyages app. At home, the Virgin Voyages app worked flawlessly. There was nothing wrong with the Virgin Voyages app until I got on the ship, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Everything in the app was perfectly fine. I love that everything about Virgin is totally different from regular style cruising. Everything with Virgin is like yacht style, and they want you to feel like everybody is like a premier client. I felt like a celebrity, to be honest, when it came to like the staff and me, like that little relationship bond over time. I felt like I was a very important person, and now that got me thinking about Carnival and a very important fun person. I felt like I was a very important person on Virgin. Like I said, let's get into embarkation day. So don't arrive early at all. With Carnival, you can get away with it and get on the ship, stuff like that, because you still have to wait anyway for your cabin to be ready. But Virgin does things a little bit different. They're going to shuttle you to Bayside if you get there early. And there's no lounge there. There's no area for you to like sit, chill, hang out. You are going to sit there with whatever baggage you didn't check. And you're going to sit there until it's time for you to check in, and you can get back on the shuttle and get back to the terminal to go ahead and get on the ship. So pro tip with Virgin, don't show up early. When you get in the terminal to go ahead and board the ship, have your Virgin Voyages app open and have it ready when you get to the like kiosk area and they give you your when they give you your band. You're going to use your band to basically use everything. Just like your sailing sign card on Carnival, you're going to use your band for everything. They're going to give you your band once you get to like the kiosk area, or I wouldn't say kiosk area because it's not a kiosk. It's actual person that gives you your band and assigns your band, all that kind of stuff. Pause. I excuse my voice. I just left the live, so I've been talking for already like 2.5 hours. So excuse my voice. I'm sorry. But let's get back into it. I was a solo cruiser. So one of the first events I went to was a solo cruiser meetup. They left a little letter inside my cabin. I think I still have it somewhere around here, but they left a letter inside my cabin. They had the solo meetup, and then it was the sail away party. And after the solo cruiser meetup, you could either kind of sort of choose if you wanted to go to the sail away party, or they had a dinner lunch set aside for us in Razzle Dazzle that I want to say came with free champagne as well. but you also get that at the sail away party. So you can pick or choose one, but I had a really good time. So that was really nice. I got to meet other solo cruisers. I met my friend Nick at the solo sail away. I met him in the Facebook group ahead of time, and he was like my right hand man the entire time. So shout out to you, Nick. He was my buddy the entire time. Thank you, Nick. We had a great time together. We decided to go to the sail away party right after the solo cruiser meetup. We got our free champagne, so pro tip there, and they came around. It was round and round. They came around giving away free champagne. I literally had 2 glasses in my hand. Guy walked up and was like, "Can you hold 2 glasses with one hand? Because I want to give you another one." And I was like, I'm gonna figure it out. And so I had 3 glasses. So yes, for you definitely will get champagne if you want champagne. If you don't want champagne and you want any other thing, there was like 2 or 3 bars from whatever the higher deck was, and the lower deck where the pool is. There's multiple bars where you can go to get drinks. So if you want other drinks, you can get those there, but the champagne at Sail Away is free. Also with Embarkation Day, I didn't know when we officially left. I say that because I didn't feel the ship move. Now, my history with things, I've only been on Carnival so far, so I can only compare it to Carnival. This was my newest ship that I've ever sailed on. All the Carnival ships that I sailed on have been like probably 10 to 20 years old. So this ship, I felt nothing. I only knew we were sailing away because I looked up and I saw like the Miami skyline moving, and I was like, huh, wait a minute, what's going on? And pause, I'm gonna apologize now because in the vlogs, they're probably not gonna look like they typically do because I had an edible the night before in Miami and it affected me the entire Embarkation Day. So I'm sorry, but that was the reason why. I'm so sorry. But yes, we would never make that mistake again, right? No, we won't. Okay. So, yeah, so I thought that was part of my process of coming down, but it wasn't. We were actually sailing away. So, yes, I didn't feel anything because I don't know if it's just new technology of the ship, you know, maintaining the sea and stuff like that, but I didn't feel anything. On Carnival, I always feel like a little shift, or I feel like a little, you know, a little something under my feet. But on Virgin, I didn't feel anything. There was literally maybe 1 or 2 instances on the entire cruise where I was like reminded that I was on a cruise by feeling a little rumble under my feet. But that was it. Other than that, I didn't know we was leaving. That was at any single port. When we left Key West, when we left Bimini, I didn't know we was moving until it was like I had to go look outside a window. So that was really, really great. For those of you that like have severe seasickness or anything like that, it might not be a huge issue on Virgin because they are new ships. They have the new technology. And again, you might not even know when you're sailing away. I didn't feel the little, it's not huge, but there's a little rocking. I'll just say that. Moving on, let's also start with I call it life on board. So to give you a whole atmosphere how Virgin is, Virgin presented themselves first as a cruise line that is different. They aren't trying to mix themselves with the Carnivals, the Royals, the this, the that, the MSC, the whatever, the Norwegian. They're not trying to. They're trying to do cruising different. And you can see that when you get on Virgin. Everything is totally different. So don't get on Virgin expecting to have the same experience you would on a Carnival ship or whatever the case and just think, oh, it's the same, it's just with no kids. No, it ain't. They advertise themselves as a yacht style experience, and I truly get that. Everything as far as having the lounge beds everywhere, aesthetic of there's corners and there's sections everywhere so you can just lounge and like be by yourself. There's that all over the ship. Everything, and that's a good and a bad, because navigating the ship was horrible because everything seemed to be like tucked off in its own little corner. But at the same time, if you did want to like get away a little bit, you could do that with no issue because there's loungers everywhere and you don't have to be like at the pool with everybody else if you wanted to truly get away from people. So that was a plus and a negative. So let's talk about the no kids. I truly enjoyed not having kids on board, and that changed everything as far as looking at the cleanliness of the ship. We know kids do things just because they kids and they bored. So having like gum stuck to tables and random stuff like that kids do because they bored. At some point I met my friend Nick that I mentioned before, and I looked at him and I said, "You smell that? Do you hear that?" And he was like, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Ain't no kids." He started laughing because it was one of those things where, like, we know there's no kids, but it was one of those realization moments, like appreciation, like, yes, there is no kids. So yes, that was truly a thing. Also, I will say with sailing with Virgin Voyages, if you are homophobic, do not sail Virgin Voyages. Again, do not sail Virgin Voyages. When it comes to staff, when it comes to the sailors that's on board, the gay community is present. That's all I'm gonna say. So if you enjoy us, or you just like our lifestyle and think we are funny, like some straight guys think, they think we are just hilarious, then you may like Virgin Voyages. But even then, I found many men that were very comfortable with their sexuality on this cruise. I won't go into detail, but I did go a little bit into detail on the live that I did about the Virgin Voyages review. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you go back and rewatch that. So if you always worried about this man having a little bit too much of a switch, this person, oh, he got a wig on, oh, this person da-da-da, then you're not gonna have fun because you already worried about the wrong things, child. If you have the little ounce of homophobia, don't do it. Love you, mean it. Don't do it. The one thing I will point out now, and then I'll probably mention later on too, is that one of the things I didn't like about Virgin Voyages is that navigating the ship felt like a maze. Like I said before, everything was tucked off in a corner, but it took me like 3 days to get it. Keep in mind, the first day I was high, so we can't include that, but it took me until the last day, which was our sea day, took me to navigate the ship. The last day I found out where the actual karaoke place was. So yeah, navigating the ship was horrible. But will I go again? I've already booked my next booking. Next, Virgin was clean everywhere. There was not a piece of glass that was dirty, had water stains, anything. Like, even looking off the ship, I don't remember seeing any spots of like huge water spots. I went on my friend Nick's balcony. I didn't see any water spots on his glass for his balcony. His patio door was clean, spotless, stuff like that. I have issues like that, like when vlogging and doing like time lapse and stuff like that, where I have to find a clean spot or clean the glass before I start the filming or whatever. Some cruise lines do it better than others. That's all I'm gonna say. I always forget to do this in my videos, but if you want to see more, especially the vlogs and our next cruise on Virgin Voyages, Scarlet Lady, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So this is your invitation here to subscribe to the channel. It's not nothing you got to pay for it. I promise it is free. You can always unsubscribe later if you want to. But back to the review. Going back to me being a solo cruiser, I also booked a solo insider cabin. So my room was meant for one person and one person only. It was a very tight space, but it was the perfect amount of space for a single solo cruiser. Bathroom was the same size as every cabin, from solo interior to ocean view. I forgot what Virgin calls their ocean views, to sea terrace, which is Virgin Voyages balcony cabins. When you get to the XL Sea Terrace, you get a bigger bathroom that's arranged a little bit different. This bathroom was tight. tight. As far as the lip of the bathroom, once you get, that little hump, that little step you got to take to get in the bathroom, once you get in there, your toilet is right here, your shower door is right here, your countertop is right here, and you don't have much counter space besides the sink, and then you don't have the shelves that most cruise lines have. That will be the main mistake I had. I was okay with the counter space if they had shelves, but they didn't have shelves, and so that limited me on the space to take out my items that I use on a daily basis when it came to the bathroom. What saved me is my toiletry bag that I showed you guys in the packing video and in the Amazon Essentials video. That toiletry bag saved me because I was able to put stuff on the back of the bathroom door, and it was perfect. But when I say the bathroom was tight, it was tight. Just like on Life With Us TV, when y'all said that the bathroom, you could be sitting on the toilet and be rinsing your feet in the shower. That is true. Very so much true. And I'm short. I'm only 5'7", and I tested it out, and it's true. The bed was low to the ground, and it was firm. It was a good sleep. I got good rest in it, but it was low. The bed was about that thick. In the room, you're also going to get a tablet. Now, this tablet, you can control your lights, your shades that cover the balcony or the porthole or whatever you have in your room, and it controls the TV. Let's go straight into the TV. So the movies that was on the TV was all up to date. Loved that. From TV shows to movies, everything was like up to date. It wasn't the typical like old stuff that was like 30-40 years ago. It was like current today movies. One of the movies, I can't even think of the name now, but it was a movie that I had been wanting to watch, but it was on one of those like platforms that wasn't like one of the major ones like Netflix and Hulu, but it was something I've been wanting to watch, but I haven't because I just didn't have that platform. It was on the ship, and I loved it. I watched it. I fell asleep on it, but it was available on the ship. All the stuff was like up-to-date stuff. Going back into talking about the tech on the ship, like the iPad in the room, the app lacked big time for me. The app took so much time to refresh at times. It took so much time to just open in general. And for some events, it alerted me to give you reminders like, oh, in 30 minutes, you got this. In 15 minutes, you got this. But then for some things, it didn't remind me. Good thing was I met all my dinner times. I'm a fat kid, so y'all know food is one of my priorities. So I met all my dinner times. But what I will say is I missed a show because I wasn't reminded about it and I wasn't staying on top of my app. So that's one of the things is the app was just lacking. It was perfect at home in the whole pre-cruise, but on board the app was a little lackluster. So we're going to go right into the food because I know a lot of people want to talk about the food. Going back to my notes, the 6 main restaurants on board is Pink Agave, Extra Virgin, Razzle Dazzle, Gumbe, The Wake, and the Test Kitchen. I was on a 4-night sailing, and so how Virgin does things is pre-cruise, you can go ahead and schedule those restaurants accordingly, but you can only do each restaurant once. Now, once you get on board, if you like the restaurant, you can stand in like the standby line, and if they have something that comes available, you can go to the restaurant again. So pre-cruise, I booked Extra Virgin, Razzle Dazzle, Pink Agave, and Test Kitchen. Once I got on board, I heard Test Kitchen was a little bit of a long experience, so I switched Test Kitchen out, and I found out that Pink Agave had some open space, so I went to Pink Agave instead. And I had a great time at Pink Agave. I do feel like some people overdo the whole food experience. I'm not saying that the food was bad or mediocre or average or anything like that. It was definitely the best food I had on a cruise, but I feel like some people overdo it. Now, I'm more of an explorer when it comes to food, so my palate can be more advanced than others. Let's just say that. Hi, D. I will say my favorite restaurant, Pink Agave. When you go to Pink Agave, definitely get the corn, definitely get the steak. The rumor on my sailing was the steak at Pink Agave was better than the steak at the steakhouse, which is the Wake. Extra virgin, I had a ton of food. There was a lot of food given to me. I went with my friend Nick, and we both could not finish all the food that was given to us because it was a lot of food, and it was really, really good. I had the raviolis when I went, the oxtail raviolis. It was really, really good. It was just a few of them that was a little, I felt could have been cooked a little bit longer. But other than that, the oxtail ravioli was really, where else can you say you got ravioli stuffed with oxtail? Razzle Dazzle is their vegan restaurant. I went to Razzle Dazzle for brunch. I also went there for dinner. I had a great time both times. Food was great. Awesome. They have a naughty and a nice menu. I'm sure you heard about it before in somebody else's videos. The nice menu is the vegan items, and the naughty is the what I call the carnivore menu, because those are all meat items. I picked items from both, and I had a great time. Make sure you try the rainbow churro sticks. I think that's what they're called. It's a dessert on the menu. It is a vegan item, and it was literally a 50-50. Half the people I talked to really, really liked them. The other half did not like them. So when you go on Virgin, just try it, see if you like it, and let me know what was your thoughts on the churro sticks. Now, all the other restaurants, all the eateries on the ship besides the main 6 restaurants, the things that stuck out to me was, of course, the galley was great. There's a bunch of different options there. As far as the Diner and Dash, which is a 24-hour breakfast spot, they have the noodle bar, which I want to say was called Noodle Around or something like that. All kind of stuff they have in the galley. The galley is different. It's not self-serve. I like that because I didn't have to worry about other people's germs reaching in and out of the food and stuff like that. And a lot of stuff was like made to order. When you go to the restaurants, ask for a secret menu. I know 2 or 3 of the restaurants have a secret menu. I'm not sure if they all have one, but ask for the secret menu. That is a pro tip. Also, another thing I really, really liked about the restaurants was that my waiter gave me an option to pair an alcoholic beverage with the entree that I had. And they had an explanation to it. They were really knowledgeable about it. And so that really put me back at the, you know how Virgin likes to be, yacht style. That put me there feeling like this was definitely a better experience than what I would get on a typical cruise line. So I really, really like that. And that was at any restaurant. And keep in mind, all the restaurants are included. So going from restaurants, let's talk about the bars for just a brief second. So my favorite bar was the Sip Lounge. That's really the only one that stuck out to me. I've only cruised Carnival up to this point, but the Sip Lounge was basically the equivalent to the on Carnival, I love the Alchemy Bar.
Wow, what's that bar name?
At nighttime, it's the Alchemy Bar, LGBT mixer, the shit. Then it's the comedy show, and then the nightclub. And even when I'm at the nightclub drinks on Carnival is watered down. So I always go out until they close to Alchemy, and then I will go back into the nightclub with my drink. Sip Lounge was my favorite bar. I can't think of what it's equivalent to on Carnival right now, but I had it earlier. Check out the live if you want to figure out what the equivalent was to. I can't think of the bar name on Carnival, but if you've been on the channel for a while, you know what bar I'm talking about. They always have some type of promotion going on. So when it came to the bars and stuff with like that, my sailing came with a $300 bar tab. Let's just start with that. So they gave me $300 worth of drinks that I can get, and all the drinks were average price. It wasn't really, really expensive. To be honest, I had $80 left over in my bar tab when I went for Debarkation. So $80 left. Granted, I didn't buy drinks the first day because I was trying to come down from my high. But yes, I had a whole $80 left. So me, myself alone, drank up at least $220, and I didn't pay for any of that at all. It was just included in my sailing. Okay, so let's break down the entertainment. Let's start with shows, theme nights, and what I call street acts, because they were like quick in and out type of acts that randomly happen throughout the ship. So let's start with the shows. The two shows that I went to was the Around the World with the Queen, which was the drag show that I really enjoyed. That was like a 45-minute to an hour-long show. It was the drag queen on board. There is a drag queen as staff, and it was amazing. The other show that I went to was, of course, Dual Reality. Dual Reality, Nick told me, close your mouth is gonna be dry, because my mouth stayed open because I felt like somebody was gonna get hurt. They had so many tricks and acrobatics and this and that, and this person flipping here and this person floating and holding this person, and my mouth was open the entire time. And Nick said, baby, your mouth gonna dry out, you need some water. But it was great. I love Dual Reality. If you ever get the opportunity to check out Dual Reality, go. That is the show that is kind of like a Romeo and Juliet, like with a twist. It was great. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's move on. Oh, by the way, Virgin, if you are watching, Never Sleep Alone is gone, and I didn't know that. But Virgin has these like secret parties that you can get invited to with these little cards that staff will pass around if they like you. Make it one of those events, one of those secret events, and I will try my hardest to be invited to one. It is adults only cruise. Why? That was like the true show that was geared toward risque adults, and of course I'm in that community, but they got rid of it. And I was looking forward to it, and it's gone. So yeah, that's that. Moving on to the theme nights. I truly like this because previous to this, of course, everything has been Carnival for me. Theme nights on Carnival, first, you don't know about them prior to the sailing. It's hard to tell what's actually going to happen and what typically happens. But on here, beforehand, you can look in the app and see, okay, they having a pajama night. Okay, they having Scarlet night. Okay, they have an 80s night, whatever the case may be. And then you can, if you truly want to like participate, you can get your outfits ready and stuff like that. Instead of on Carnival, sometimes it's like, okay, well, let me get a white outfit, but I didn't wear it because they didn't have a white party. Here, you know what's going on. It's true theme nights, which I feel like really helped everybody go on. Scarlet Night was amazing, and I'm just gonna drop it here. I still don't know what Scarlet Night was about. All I will say is that it was like a true rave, and I enjoyed every single second of it. If you love music and love all different types of music, it is something for you. We're going to talk about the outdoors of the ship. Let's just talk about specifically the pool areas and the athletic areas that I feel like should be removed. First of all, going into the pool is tiny. So it's this oval shaped pool. In the middle of that is like a square, and that's the actual pool. The entire oval is not the pool. They have like a little cutout inside the pool, and part of that is stairs from one side to get in the pool. Then they have a second pool, which is like a circular pool and has like a bench around the entire thing, which you feel is just like a huge hot tub, but it's not. It's a pool. And then they have like 3 or 4 hot tubs around the pool. That is not enough water for all these adults to enjoy on the ship. I literally got in the hot tub one time the entire cruise for like 20 minutes, and that was right before it closed, because every other time throughout my cruise, all the pools and hot tubs was packed because it's already limited space. And the people that was in the pool the whole time got burnt up because it was hot on our sailor. But let's keep going. The athletic areas that's outside, like the the little boxing ring area, the little areas outside Knicks and Necks, outside like the basketball court and all of that kind of stuff, that can be removed. Y'all could put a whole nother pool up there, a pool or hot tubs or whatever the case. But to be honest, that stuff was only used the very first day. Could have been like a whole nother pool area, but it wasn't, and I feel like that was truly wasted space. It was nice to take pictures of and take a few little shots here and there the first day, but after that, to be honest, a waste of space. All right, let's go back interior and let's talk about the casino. This was my first time actually playing table games in the casino. There was at least 2 tables of all the table games, and the only ones I can remember off the top of my head was roulette, which I played, blackjack, and all the other ones. There is a smoking area in the casino. The casino was very small. If you are a true like slots player and that's all you play, it was limited. I didn't really go around and look at the different types because I came in just looking for roulette, but it is small. One thing I will say is if you use your band, the band that they give you, you know, for your account band, whatever it is, if you use your band in the casino and it's connected to a credit card or debit card, I guess, they will charge you 7% to use that in the casino. In my case, I thought I was getting charged 7%, to be honest, but I already had prepaid Sailor Loot. So technically my money was already money that I had with Carnival, so I wasn't getting charged that 7%. But if your money is getting charged directly to a card on file, expect to pay an extra 7% because that's just what they charge in the casino if you want to use it at the table or at the slots. One thing I didn't like about the casino was that it closed at 2:30 in the morning. For this to be an adults only cruise, I feel like things should have been open a little bit later. And to be honest, besides the 24-hour breakfast at Diner and Dash, the casino was the last thing to stay open. The nightclub closed at 2. The casino closed at 2:30. So that made me feel like the whole adult only thing, it was kind of like it's time to go to bed. And I felt like a child all over again. But I mean, it is what it is. Okay, when you go to the bathrooms, they have male, they have female, and then they have gender neutral bathrooms. I did use the gender neutral bathroom because they're spread out around the ship. When you go in there, I feel like they have secret doors. Because some of the doors was like, you'll see like the metal trim around the door and you'll know it's a door, but it looks like a staff only area. But the only way I knew that it was like an actual area, because I was like, wait, something ain't right. You go in and you see just like sinks and it's like, well, this said it was the bathroom. But you go in and you see this little panel that say like, it shows like green and open and red and closed. And so I was like, okay, so I tapped it and then it opens and there is your toilet. So they have like 1 or 2 of those in there just to keep it separate if there's a male and female in the bathroom. And then the sink will be in the main area where you first come in. But just, it's like a little panel. You just got to tap it. And I didn't know that at first, so I'm letting you know here. My next Virgin Voyage is something that you need to participate in if you truly want to go back on a Virgin Voyage. You put, in layman's terms, you put $300 down. That serves as your down pay or part of your down payment for your next voyage. Then on the next voyage, whatever you select, and you have 24 months to select the sailing that you're going to use the My Next Virgin Voyage for, and you have to sail within that 24-month time frame too. So you got 2 years to book it and sail, but you get $300 off that next sailing. You also get $600 in Sailor Loot. And keep in mind, the big thing about this is that it is stackable with other offers that Carnival may throw. So this is like on a whole nother level because you can stack it with all kinds of stuff. Debarkation and Post Cruise, I'm only going to say a few things about this because it was really, really quick. Once you get off the ship, they take a little picture of you. It is all passport only. So when you get on, they don't have the facial recognition machines, but they do have the little ones that you typically use to get on the ship with other cruise lines, where you take a little picture, it shows up green, and you keep on moving. So I did like that because it was a really fast process. I literally got from the ship to the outside of the terminal in like 5 to 10 minutes, but it was closer to that 5-minute mark. Once you get off the ship as well, they're gonna send you a bunch of emails. Some of those emails will be promotions. So like I said, promotions are stackable. Keep a lookout for those promotions if you truly want to book another Virgin Voyage. 9 times out of 10, those promotions will be stackable with the My Next Virgin Voyage. And if you have a travel agent, they might be able to stack it with some more promotions. Just like, I'm gonna say it here, I already booked my next cruise and I got $875 off with just stackable promotions, including the My Next Virgin Voyage, on top of $300 bar tab, $700 in Sailor Loot, and $300 off the sailing, plus an additional 10% off. All kind of stuff, because it's a whole bunch of stuff that's stackable. Like I said, the value for money. So let's go ahead and close it out with my overall thoughts. Staff was amazing. Pink agave. Also with the staff, they literally pushed you, whether it came from food or activities, to step out of your norm. They were inviting you to try new things, inviting you to try this. Have you tried this on our menu? Have you ever ate this before? When it came to events, they were pushing you to explore something different, which I truly, truly loved. The drag queen I feel like she was purposely finding the men that were truly comfortable with their sexuality, and she were pulling them out and giving them drag names and stuff like that, and you think it would be like an uncomfortable situation, but everybody was having a truly, truly good time. It was so fun. Everybody, I feel like, was able to truly let their hair down, because on certain cruise lines there is some type of self-awareness that has to be there. And I'm not saying truly let go of that, because even if you sailing just by yourself without your kids, you need to know what's going on and have your head on a swivel at all times too. But there was a true like let your hair down moment with a lot of people, that it just gave off a different vibe just because there was no kids. The interaction with staff was just on a whole nother level. I'm just gonna leave it there. You have to literally be there to experience it. So, talking about value for money, basic Wi-Fi is included, gratuities, your essential beverages, all the restaurants are included. They do have like treat yourself items on each menu, but that is optional if you want to do it. I didn't even go to pajama night because I told y'all before I fell asleep because I was way up here. But like looking at photos and videos and stuff like that, I truly had that FOMO moment because I was mad. But I'm definitely going to it when I go on my December sailing. So stay tuned and make sure you subscribe to the channel so y'all can see those. Was this a swingers cruise? I would have to say it is what you make it. If you're looking for an activity like that, then you can see it's there. If you're not looking for it, it's not in your face. I had pineapples on my dough because that's who I am, and I had invitations, and I seen another neighbor of mine that had pineapples on their dough, and I saw notes under their pineapples. Watch the live if you want to get more details about this situation. But general statement, if you're looking for that, it's there. If you're not looking for it, you ain't gotta worry about it. It ain't in your face, stuff like that. They ain't just banging out on the Lido and in the hallways all up on each other. Would I cruise Virgin Voyages solo again? Absolutely. I do feel like Virgin is made for couples and groups. Personally, I feel like it'd be a perfect atmosphere for if you want to be romantic with your little boo thing, or if you want to go like on a trip. The one thing I will say with whoever you share a cabin with, the bathroom there is no wiggle room in the bathroom. So you need to be very comfortable with who you pick to choose to room with. But I feel like Virgin is perfect for couples and perfect for groups. I and my personality am perfectly fine cruising solo on Virgin, and trust me, this is going to happen many more times. For everybody as a solo cruiser, it might not be a thing. You might feel like you excluded from some stuff, but I felt totally at home. Also, another side note that I'm gonna throw in here is that my sailing was a 4-night sailing. I feel like that was totally short. The sailing that I booked now is a 5-day, and I feel like that might give me that extra time, because even then I was still trying to navigate the ship after my 3rd day. Like my last day, I finally took my little map out of my fanny pack, because I was like, oh, I know where things is, and I didn't. But I knew at least the general area that stuff was in, with a few minor exclusions. But navigating the ship was terrible. So besides the trash app, besides navigating the ship, besides pool and hot tubs and the small casino, I truly enjoyed myself on Virgin Voyages. I really loved the atmosphere, the no kids, all the inclusions, the value for money, especially with the My Next Virgin Voyage once you go on your first Virgin Voyage. But even then, you can still, there's a way to get the Virgin Voyage, My Next Virgin Voyage, even if you haven't sailed on it. You'll have to stay tuned to the channel to get that knowledge there. But I truly had a time on Virgin Voyage. Check out the live, check out the vlogs. I'll see you guys next time. But this was it. Yes, it ran kind of long, but I really wanted to give you guys my true experience on board Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady. As always, do what you love what you do. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you learned something. Make sure you check out the live, because there's a lot of detailed stories in there that I didn't tell here, because I already knew this video was going to be kind of long. So like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys later. Do what you love what you do. I'll see you guys later. I love you. I mean it. Bye.